Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Well, today I'm reviewing the counterpart to the USA exclusive from Cavalier Cigars. This is the Black Series II Salomones. Isn't it a pretty cigar? 7 by 50, 58. Uses Mexican San Andrés wrappers, a Nicaraguan binder, and fillers. The USA exclusive also used those same ingredients, but the blend is not the same. Priced at a reasonable $12. I mean, that's not bad for a Salomone. And of course, it features the 24 karat gold diamond foil. Pretty nice looking cigar, well made. Has a very good feel in the hand, so I may be here a while. So that's sort of the long and short of it. Let's get right to it. The new Cavalier Genève Black Series II Salomones. All right, with the ones I've had before, there is going to be the distinct possibility that I will have to use the perfect draw because you could take off any place you want to. You pick the spot. I'm going to pick the spot just about there. And if it doesn't draw well, you know what I have to do. Let's see. That's not a big deal. It won't be very hard. Give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. Okay. Now, another thing I'm going to do differently, because this is a small target. Oh, did I show you the density before? Oh, there it is. I'm going to use a single flame torch so I won't burn up the edges. That's my goal. Well, here initially, because I've had several of these, initially you do have a tangy cedar citrus type flavor. It's really leaning more towards citrus, but there is cedar aspects. A little brown sugar, maybe a touch of cinnamon, just a touch. A lot of a dark chocolate and black coffee. Black pepper at about 7.5. Between 7 and 7.5. Not as much black pepper as you might expect, want, or think it will be, but there's a lot of dark chocolate and a lot of earthy, actually, black coffee. So that's how you start. I don't really get a whole lot of nutmeg at this point. I expect changes to be coming, and this is a very long cigar, very dense, so I'll come back at the first third unless something happens before then. We're here at the first third, and look at how long it took us to get here. Told you it was a very dense cigar. Now, you do have a very small amount of the slightly tangy cedar, just a small amount of brown sugar. I would pass on the cinnamon at this point. It's not enough to talk about. There is an interesting combination of nutmeg, roasted almonds, and leather and then a massive amount of an unsweetened dark chocolate and black coffee. So the cigar did change. The finish is dark chocolate solely with pretty decent lingering black pepper. Medium body. It's actually medium body, medium strength, medium body. That may move up, but at this point. But this is this is a very dark cigar with minimal sweetness. Now you should be well aware of my personal preferences when it comes to Maduros and darker notes. I like sweetness with it. This is more of a very low in sweetness cigar with a lot of dark notes. For me, it's a 91 to start with, okay? Because we're gradually getting a little smaller. We're going to gradually get down to a 50 ring. And we'll see what happens. But at this point, it's a 91. Very dark cigar. The USA exclusive was much sweeter than this. But two different animals, two different sizes, two different everything. So let's move on. End of the second third. And the cigar is slowly transitioning. You have now a hint of cedar, massive amounts of unsweetened dark chocolate, and a lot of black coffee. Nutmeg is quite subtle. All those nutty flavors and everything in the first third are gone for the most part. And you're left with those three flavors primarily. And the cedar is a hint. So it's pretty much unsweetened dark chocolate and black coffee. Pepper is good. Finish is unchanged. Still straight dark chocolate. Unsweetened dark chocolate. Green pepper is pretty good. Medium to full body. This is a cigar for anyone who likes very dark flavors and very little or no sweetness. Personally, I don't gravitate that way. So when I score it, I'm scoring it on my preferences. But the cigar actually has pretty good flavors if you like dark chocolate. It is straight up dark chocolate. Tastes just like it. But for me, it's an 89 for the second third. That's not to say the cigar is not any good. It's just not hitting me. But it's a very good dark chocolate flavor. So let's move on to the final third. Well, gold foil burned through. We're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. You got plenty of time out of this cigar. If you like dark chocolate, you will like the burn time. Here in the final third, it sort of got to where it was nothing but dark chocolate and black coffee. The cedar is an afterthought. Finish is unchanged as it was the entire time. It is straight dark chocolate and pretty decent lingering black pepper. I would say the cigar reached full body, and the dark chocolate flavor is very good. It's a very good flavor of dark chocolate. I just personally want sweetness with it, and that's my only complaint. It just doesn't have sweetness. But for me personally, that's a pretty big deal. The final third, I would go 87. And I'm not knocking the cigar, but it's just not up my alley because of the lack of sweetness. Your overall score is 89. Obviously, of the two, the USA exclusive I like much more. It had sweetness and a darker notes. But, I mean, that's the way it goes. Look or listen to the description, and that's what you're going to get. So if you like dark chocolate, check into this cigar. If you like dark chocolate with no sweetness, that is. So that will do it. The new Cavalier Genève Black Series II Salomones, 89.